Now, the North is only the Ireland with the starting goal for 1. Blake. On defense, number 3, Jackson Cameron. On defense, number 18, Dax Finney. At forward, number 21, Bobby Coleman. At forward, number 55, Mikey Rochester. And starting at center for the Lakers, number 19, Dino. Now along the rest of the Lakers are coached by Uno Porter. Ladies and gentlemen, we will ask the new stand here at the Movie Cats. And the Lakers last name of the
Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brewpub Lotta Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brewpub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brewpub Lotta Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
I think anytime you're beginning a season or beginning a new sport where maybe you haven't been as well conditioned as later in the season or near the end of the year, that's when you're going to be most prone to overuse types of injuries. That's going to be sprains and strains and tendonitis and stress fractures. And so I think it's most important to kind of slowly ramp up into an activity and build your volume in a stepwise way instead of jumping in all at once.
Brewpub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brewpub Lotta Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brewpub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brewpub Lotta Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
I think anytime you're beginning a season or beginning a new sport where maybe you haven't been as well conditioned as later in the season or near the end of the year, that's when you're going to be most prone to overuse types of injuries. That's going to be sprains and strains and tendonitis and stress fractures. And so I think it's most important to kind of slowly ramp up into an activity and build your volume in a stepwise way instead of jumping in all at once.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Rochester, Minnesota Graham Arena Complex. We're on Rink 4, also known as the Toyota Rink, which my fiance tells me is the most reliable brand of automobile. Considering I don't care what kind of car I drive, we're in a car rink. Rochester and Prior Lake, the two teams going at it today in the Pumpkin Tournament Orange Bracket Championship game. There's a trophy on the line here as Prior Lake turns and fires early. Rochester wearing the black and red, looking very striking in these new uniforms. Prior Lake wearing their navy and gold. We are well underway so far. As Prior Lake's defense sweeps it to the side, going after it now at forward for Prior Lake, number 21, Aiden Kopis. Kopis has got a Rochester player pinned along the boards as the Lakers look to center the pass. No dice, Nolan Steele will clear for Rochester. Up to Tristan Bradley. Bradley skating ahead. Rochester loses the handle along the boards. Not quite sure what happened there. From our vantage point at the top of the bleachers, sometimes players get lost when they come toward the bleacher side of the boards. Bradley centers, looking for Wiesner. Wiesner can't get a stick on it. Kind of a wild slap shot there from Parker Ashton. As the puck sails into the neutral zone, gathered up by Ulrich. Ulrich to Nordby for Prior Lake. Now gathered up and skating ahead is Ace Lack. Lack knocked the puck too far ahead. It's turned right back and dumped in by Prior Lake. Going after it is Ashton for Rochester. The starting goaltenders today for Prior Lake, number 1, Blake Pickens. And for Rochester, number 35, Earl Graff. 12:11 to go in the first period. We play 14-minute periods here at the Pumpkin. Black will take the face-off for Rochester. He wins it back to Lucas Hagen. Hagen played it up, and now it's Wiedrich. Wiedrich over the blue line, ladles it ahead to Caverly. Caverly dumps it in behind the Prior Lake net. The Lakers take over now. Didion off the wall, doesn't get all the way out. Rochester holds zone momentarily before it comes into the neutral zone. Wiedrich backing away from trouble, whips it up to the Prior Lake blue line. Falling down and pushing it ahead is Jackson Perrin. Sending try intercepted by Lusk. Puck bobbles off Lusk's stick. Stopped by the paddle of Graff and played ahead. Wiedrich on the backhand, doesn't get out. Prior Lake with a chance before it's poked away. Rochester could have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. They don't hurry enough, and Wyatt Markwell, big strong forward for Prior Lake, ties up the Rochester skater and avoids the odd man rush. Here's Markwell. Markwell into the middle. The centering try doesn't get all the way through. Now Peterson for Rochester. Up to Cross. Cross shooting, bounces out of the glove of Pickens. Oh boy. Player goes down. Rochester is going to go on the power play. Of the face-off to the left of Pickens as Rochester sends out its power play unit. Executive producer Justin Moth holds his moth like a moth to a flame. Coffee's starting to wear off. Might need another cup here. Face off down. The power play is underway for the Mustangs. Now at the blue line. Mustangs trying to set something out. There's a slap shot tipped in front. It's still loose, and eventually Pickens throws a glove on top of it and freezes for a stoppage of play. I believe that's Markwell sitting in the penalty box. No, it's Jack Laurel. I lied. 9 and 5 from this angle look fairly similar, and they're both huge peewees. Try the face-off all over again. It comes to the blue line. Couldn't get there fast enough. That was Warren Hangy who couldn't hold the zone. Tipped ahead by Kopus. Now everybody gets on sides. Carrying it in. It's Rochester's Nolan Steele. Steele tries to wheel it around the back of the Prior Lake net. All 3 Rochester forwards were stuck below the dots on that one. Now Wiedrich. Wiedrich makes a move. Wiedrich can't make a second move. It's poked away and dumped in by Kopus. Stopped and shoveled behind the net by Graff. And retreating in his own zone is Lack. Lack can really fly when he gets going. Here he goes across the red, across the blue. Out of the dot. Over. Oh, on the backhand. Lusk couldn't put it in. Lusk can't get around the defender, and Prior Lake will be able to clear. Nice play by Ace Lack to set up a scoring chance. Wiedrich dumps it ahead. That could be, it's not going to be icing. It didn't get down far enough. Not even close. Joey Volpe carries it out for Prior Lake, and he will draw a penalty. So we're going to go 4-on-4 for 2 seconds. Then Prior Lake will take its turn with man advantage. As Rochester sends out new bodies. 2 minutes for tripping. Caverly will sit. 9:24 to go in the first period. Of the face-off in the Rochester zone to the right of Graff. Puck is down. And Prior Lake is officially on the power play as the puck rolls to the blue line. Here's Perrin. Perrin down into the corner, centering pass. One-timer in front, stopped by Graff initially. Rebound, scores! Graff couldn't hang on to the puck, and Prior Lake knocks in the loose biscuit for a 1-0 lead on the power play. we'll get the call from Robin Cook. Looks like we're still trying to figure out who had the goal for Prior Lake. All righty, we've got the official call now. Tate Ulrich with the goal for Prior Lake. The assist going to Henry Nordby and Joey Volp. We'll line it up for a face-off in the Rochester zone after Graff snagged the puck out of the air and held on to it 2 free. There's an icing call against Rochester. Of the face-off to the left of Graff, 8:28 to go in the first period. Face-off won momentarily by Prior Lake. Now here's a chance for Rochester. Wiesner carries it in, eventually has it taken away and turned right back up by the Lakers. Lusk chips it ahead, was looking for Wiesner streaking toward the net. All 3 Rochester players stuck below the dots. Eventually Wiesner comes out to the slot. Laurel wraps it around the boards. Here's a centering try, bouncing puck. Nobody can get a stick on it to knock it in. The puck is chased down by Zach Ritten. Ritten cannot clear. Rochester looking to go back to work in the Prior Lake zone. Ashton sends it across to Broadbent. Broadbent gives it up to Peterson. Peterson sends it on net. It's stopped and held onto by Blake Pickens. Good time to tell you folks how the teams got here today in the Orange Bracket Final. Rochester enters with a record of 2-1, losing in the first round 6-3 to Brainerd, and beating Andover 6-3, and Chaska Chan Hassan last night 5-3. The leading scorers for Rochester are number 16, Nolan Steele, and number 14, Tristan Bradley, with 6 points apiece. As for Prior Lake, the Lakers enter today's game with a 3-1 record, defeating Centennial in the opening round, losing 8-2 to Woodbury, defeating Rogers 5-3, and Spring Lake Park 3-2. Jackson Perrin, Thomas Lesner, and Henry Nordby 4 points apiece for Prior Lake. Although Nordby has just matched 5 points. There's a shot by Wiedrick, winding and firing, stopped by Pickens. In transition, Prior Lake skating past Wiedrick, looking for a centering try. I believe that's Lesner. Lesner goes down. The puck stuck behind the Rochester goal. 2 defenders on it, eventually fishing the puck out of the skates. Lesner going after it. Eventually the Mustangs cleared up the boards. Into the middle, now Lack. Lack at the blue line, waiting. Not quite sure what Lack was doing there, maybe waiting for a spinorama move. Bradley whips it across to Broadbent. Broadbent goes down after being bumped by Laurel. Nice play off the boards. There's a 2-on-1 for Prior Lake. Cutting in at the dot, a centering try, and an excellent defensive play by Rochester's Warren Hangy, intercepting the puck and turning it right back up to Bradley. Bradley into the middle, shoot! Loved and held on to by Pickens. 5:57 to go in the first period. Boy, the first period really flying by. Lakers cannot clear. There's a shot from the point by Rochester, stopped and played into the corner by Pickens. Over the blue line, out of the red, Bradley throws it back to Ashton. Ashton sends it ahead. It's intercepted, whipped back into the zone by the Lakers. couple of players get tangled up, and eventually Joey Volpe sends it ahead for Prior Lake. A clearance attempt very nearly intercepted by the Lakers. Rochester will regroup in its own zone. Wiesner taps it into the middle, is looking for Steele. Steele lost the handle. Here's Nordby. Nordby can't get past the defender. Long shot by Volpe. Earl Graff, the aggressive Earl Graff, coming out 2 feet from the crease to make the save. He hangs on. Got a whistle with 5:02 to play in the first period. Shots on goal so far, 8-5 in favor of the Rochester Mustangs, but the Lakers have the edge on the board by a score of 1-0. Face off down in the Rochester end, banked off the wall and carried out. Lack tries to tap it around the Prior Lake defense. Excellent play there by the Lakers. Jackson Perrin to stop Lack from getting around him. The shot from the top of the circle, blockered away by Graff. Now banging into the corner, a Laker and a Mustang at the blue line. I hope I'm not the only one who saw Elliot Sitkink lean over the boards there and say something to the Laker defender. It's all gamesmanship, isn't it? Lack flying through the neutral zone. Everybody rising their feet to see what Ace Lack wants to do here. Lack expertly played into the corner. Boy, they are not letting Ace Lack have any room to operate here. Lack looking for a centering option. He sends it up to Wiedrich. Wiedrich shoots, and it was blocked by his own players. Another shot on goal. That runs into the ankle of a Laker. Excellent play. I got to find a new adjective for excellent. Lack interrupting the zone clearance. It's held in by the Mustangs. A Rochester player goes down, and after a come on from the fans, the referee decides to make the call. So the Mustangs will go on the power play. 3:50 to go in the first period. Our score 1-0. Prior Lake. Tate Ulrich knocking in a loose puck on the power play. We'll see if special teams pays off for the Mustangs the same way they did for the Lakers. And the faceoff will be to the right of Pickens in the zone. Bodine taking the draw on the penalty kill. He wins it back to Ritten. Ritten calmly banks it off the wall to Laurel. Eventually the puck comes into the neutral zone. Ashton at his own blue line whips it over to Arndt. Arndt across the blue line tries a very long shot. It goes off the blocker of Pickens, and somehow by a miracle of physics and trajectory ends up bouncing to the opposite side against the boards. A centering try again goes off the side of the cage. Gathering it up now is Rochester's Kohler Peterson. Here's Peterson. Peterson looking for help, can't find it. Carries it into the corner himself as Rochester goes for a bit of a line change. Peterson wraps it all the way around, walking in. Shot from the defense. Oh, he comes out of nowhere, and Pickens gets knocked down from behind. And one of the nice things about having the hometown Rochester team play in one of these games, one of these trophy games, is that the whole town comes out to watch. I'm sure if I threw a rock, I'd hit 10 doctors. .38 seconds to go in the Rochester power play. It's dumped in by Broadbent. The Mustangs will go to work low in the Prior Lake zone until it's covered up by Pickens. Who doesn't love a little Miley Cyrus on a Sunday afternoon, a little wrecking ball to get us all in the mood for hockey. On the dot, there's a shot. It goes off the stick of a Prior Lake defender, and Pickens eventually throws a glove on it. We'll try the face-off all over again, this time 16 seconds to go in the Rochester power play. Laurel. The centering try. Taken away by the Lakers, and Joey Volpe will skate it ahead across the red, across the blue. Ulrich directing traffic while skating towards the net, telling the defender to stay back, stay back. We're still killing a penalty. Back to full strength here. Bradley. The puck comes over the blue line. And the offsides. Boy, the Mustangs thought they had a 2-on-1 chance, interrupted by the automatic offsides call. So the Lakers will go for a full personnel change. The Mustangs will send Ace Lack out to take the faceoff against Wyatt Markwell. Lack gathers up the puck, taps it past Markwell. Lack skates it ahead. Perrin playing Lack into the corner. Lack tries a centering pass. It's intercepted and turned right back up by the Lakers. Markwell, he's got a step on his man. Backhand centering try, goes off the stick of Rochester player. Beautiful save by Earl Graff. Boy, right on the doorstep, and Earl Graff says no thank you. Offsides for the Lakers. Boy, Markwell. One more stride, and he might have been able to get that puck to his forehand for an easier shot, but as it stands, tried a backhand centering pass, goes off the stick. A Rochester defender laid right out for Earl Graff, who sings this song, Justin? Don't know? Okay. Earl Graff is dancing along. I wanted to be able to figure out what artist was playing the song that makes Earl dance with such joy. A long pass through the neutral zone over to Nordby. Nordby had an assist on the Lakers goal. He shoots right into the chest of Graff. Graff hangs on. It's 1:12 to go in the first period. The wall now behind the net. Here's a chance for the Lakers in front. Loose puck. They can't get a shot off. Here's another chance on the backhand. This time the puck rolls into the corner. I have no idea how the puck didn't go into the net. 1 whack, 2 whack, 3 whack for the Lakers, but still no goal. Didion pinching down from the blue line. Wrapping it around. Here's Bodine. Bodine, he's got nobody out front, so he'll take it himself. Bodine trying to free up some space. He's at the goal line. Bodine, beautiful pass. Shooting, stopped by Graff. Another loose puck in front. The Mustangs trying desperately to clear the Lakers out from the scoring area. Is that Aiden Kopis waving off the line change? No, he's not going to get his wish. Couple of nice saves there from Earl Graff. And the face-off in the Rochester zone. Tristan Bradley with the stick lift. Thought he might have been able to clear that puck. Volpe sends it down on the backhand. They can't get the shot away, and Graff covers it again. And Prior Lake is going to go back on the power play. It's going to be Parker Ashton. He's going to sit down after knocking over a Prior Lake player. So with 21 seconds to go in the first period, Prior Lake will go on the power play. Face-off won by Volpe. Lakers setting up, sent over to Perrin. The puck too close to the blue line. He's got to get rid of it. And pressured by Arndt. Sent ahead by the Mustangs. That should do it for the first period. So through 14 minutes of play, Prior Lake leads Rochester 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Brewpub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brewpub Lotta Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brewpub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brewpub Lotta Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
I think anytime you're beginning a season or beginning a new sport where maybe you haven't been as well conditioned as later in the season or near the end of the year, that's when you're going to be most prone to overuse types of injuries. That's going to be sprains and strains and tendonitis and stress fractures. And so I think it's most important to kind of slowly ramp up into an activity and build your volume in a stepwise way instead of jumping in all at once.
Brewpub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brewpub Lotta Mozza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brewpub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brewpub Lotta Mozza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
I think anytime you're beginning a season or beginning a new sport where maybe you haven't been as well conditioned.
You don't forget, you just don't want to tell me. Justin sharing secrets between periods. Maybe someday he'll tell me the secret of his award-winning smoked ribs. No, apparently not. Briar Lake sets up on the power play. The Lakers leading Rochester 1-0 after one period of play. There's a centering try. Puck rolls like a wagon wheel all the way to the top of the circle. Shot by Perrin, goes off the side of the cage. Tate Ulrich with the lone goal so far, knocking in a loose puck. Coincidentally, while the Lakers were on the power play in the first period, there's a slapper. Centering try intercepted by the Mustangs and cleared. We'll see if the puck gets all the way down for an icing. And yes, it will. So with 20 seconds to go on the power play, the Lakers will line it up again. They'll make a defensive switch. Chance for Prior Lake. Puck rolling just out of reach of the crashing Laker forward. Wiesner will carry it across the blue line. That'll do it for the Rochester penalty. 12:47 to go in the second period. A slapper by Wiedrich into the neutral zone. Pushed ahead. Lakers wrap the puck all the way around. Hagen holds it in at the blue line. It's given ahead to Volp. Volp saucers the puck. Here's a shot on goal. Boy, nice shot there by Ulrich. That goes off his shoulder and into the black netting. Have the face-off in the Rochester end. So far, shots on goal 16-10 in favor of the Lakers. Nice move there by the Laker defender. I believe that's Didion, who spun away from trouble and managed to push the puck forward. Caverly all the way ahead. Here's Lusk. Lusk off the wall to Lack. Lack's got Caverly in the middle. Lack, oh, he tries a shot. He goes too high. Like using a pitching wedge to putt, or some other golf analogy for hitting the ball too high and too far. Puck still free under the corner. Lack walks it out, turns, fires. Blocker saved by Pickens. Lack banks it off the wall to Broadbent. Broadbent has it knocked away by Lesnar. Now Lesnar's going to go one-on-one with Warren Hangy. Lesnar tries to get around Hangy. He can't do it. Expertly played there on defense. Sent ahead into the neutral zone, slapped right back through. Couple of players falling down. This puck wrapped all the way around. Perrin sends it across. There's a strange shot, sticked away by Graff. Ritten puts on the brakes, spins away from the Rochester forward at 10:47 to go in the second period. Ritten loses the handle, has it poked away, and now it's Rochester's. Sent ahead, plucked out of midair. That's Kopis. Kopis skating ahead. He's got Markwell in the middle from the dot, shooting, saved by Graff. Kopis standing about a head and a half taller than virtually all of the Rochester defenders he's going up against. Can't get the puck centered. The face-off just outside the Rochester zone. Markwell at the dot for Prior Lake. Nolan Steele at the dot for Rochester. Puck volleyed into the Rochester end. Wiedrich going back for it. Peels around the Mustang goal. Sends to Bradley. Bradley tried to hit the center. Steele flying through. Unable to do so. Wiesner. Sent ahead. Markwell tries a move. Loses it. Skates. Parker Ashton. Wiesner taps it ahead to Steele. Steele going up against Perrin. Steele has it poked away by Jackson Perrin. Jackson Perrin, such a polished defender at this age. Plays the angles well, defends well. The total Pee Wee defenseman package. Now Lack. Lack sends it to Ashton. Ashton back to Lack. Lack gaining speed. Goes around Perrin. Perrin backs off, moves to the center of the net. Bradley goes to the far post for Rochester. Caverly. Here's a shot from the blue line. Rebound in front. They score! Ace Lack ties the game, batting in a rebound as Rochester pulls even with Prior Lake. Score 1-1. We get the official goal call from Robin Cook to figure out the assists, if there are any. Tristan Bradley and Lucas Hagen on the assists for the Lack goal. Lack very nearly had another scoring chance. Centering try, shot, big save by Graff. It's going to sit 2 minutes for body checking, so with 8:01 to go in the second period, the Lakers will play down a man. Bradley, Wiesner, Steele, Hangy, and Wiedrich, the power play unit for the Mustangs. Bradley up to Hangy. Hangy back down to Bradley as the Mustangs rotate. Bradley to Steele. Steele bobbles it behind the Prior Lake net, runs into the referee. Now a Laker is down. Steele, it was in. I don't think it was in. There's one move. Wiedrich shooting blockers. Prior Lake struggling to clear the zone. Eventually it gets all the way down for an icing. Ace Lack, the scorer for Rochester, will take the draw, wins it back to Ashton. Ashton from the top of the circle, thought about shooting, thought better of it, drops down to Caverly. Caverly bumped by Pickens. 14 seconds to go in the All-Rich penalty. 13 seconds to go in the Rochester power play. We'll line her up again. Lusk, Lack, Caverly, Ashton, and Hagen, power play unit for the Mustangs. It ends up being Ritten. Prior Lake still struggling to get that puck out. Caverly going after it. Ashton comes down, holds the zone. Lack one hands it to Caverly. Prior Lake Back to full strength. Caverly to Ashton. Ashton sends it ahead. It's blocked by Laurel. Laurel couldn't get a stick on it to clear. Into the neutral zone. Ashton trying to whip it over to Hagen. Hagen had already backed away and was closer to his own zone. Sent ahead. That'll be icing. Prior Lake will line up the faceoff in the Lakers zone. I'm sure Blake Pickens is tired of looking at faceoffs. He's seemed to have faced the bulk of them here in the second period. You've got 2 more bracket finals coming up after this one, the Little Pumpkin Championship. I wish I knew how to say it in Spanish because pequeño for little. Pequeño is little? What about pumpkin? I thought pequeño was pumpkin. Oh, well, the pequeño will be coming up after this game at 1 p.m. and then the big game, the Black Bracket Championship. That one for all the marbles after that at 2:30. Perrin, Lesnar, a 3-on-1 chance. Kopis tries to center it, doesn't get there. Another centering try, this time intercepted. Get rid of it. Oh, he got rid of it. Oh, my gosh. Got so scared, saw a yellow jersey pop up behind the Rochester defender. Thomas Lesnar also got spooked there, thought they might wave off the icing. 5:33 to go in the second period, tied up at 1-1. Ulrich, the goal scorer for Prior Lake. Ace Lack, the goal scorer for Rochester. Markwell will take the draw in the offensive zone for the Lakers. Lakers 3 feet wide. Held it, and that'll be so far. I didn't want to talk because Vanilla Ice was playing and I wanted to hear Vanilla Ice. If you don't want to hear Vanilla Ice when Vanilla Ice comes on, you got problems, man. Puck dropped off behind the Rochester goal. Excellent goaltending play. I said excellent again. Gosh dang it. Good goaltending play. From the netminders, Earl Graff has got 17 saves. Blake Pickens 16 stops for Prior Lake. In the corner off the wall. Sent even deeper by Bodine. Kopis going after it. Can't get the centering pass off. It's taken away. And Lack will skate ahead, trying to catch up to his own bank off the wall. Lesnar with a nice move. Muscles the puck over to Kopis. Kopis shoots, sticked away by Graff. In front, Lesnar couldn't get the shot off. Kopis does. It's too high, very nearly a pane of glass. A centering pass goes off the side of the net. Long headman pass. Intercepted by Rochester and dumped right back into the Prior Lake zone. Lesnar stops at the blue line. Perrin into the middle. Kopis shooting, goes off the glass again. Knocked out of midair by Graff. He ends up leaving the puck right in the scoring area. Kopis can't put it over the line. Very, very close to extending the Prior Lake lead to 3-1. Rochester in transition. Oh, he goes down. Kind of an awkward attempt to play the puck and box out the defender. Ends up with Will Cross going very nearly headfirst into the boards. Here we go. Odd man rush for Prior Lake. Cutting in. Ulrich slides it over. Forehand, backhand. He does the splits, and Earl Graff makes the save. Earl the Squirrel throws out that right leg. Goes off a Rochester player into the corner. Ulrich, Bradley. Backhands it, looking for Steele. Puck was just behind him. Now Prior Lake will have another odd man rush. Over to Ulrich. Ulrich loses it. It's poked away. Now gathered up by Nolan Steele. Steele to Lusk. Lusk runs into a pair of Lakers. Rochester goes for a line change. The back check by Owen Lusk disrupts any sort of transition chance the Lakers may have had as we enter the final minute of play in the second period. Ace Lack skating it ahead. He's got room. Lack angles to the right, angles to the left to get around Laurel. Lack at the dot. Lack makes one move, tries a centering pass, doesn't go anywhere. Now on his backhand, Lack into the middle, drops it off to Wiedrich. Wiedrich from almost the goal line tries a centering pass, goes off a skate and behind the Prior Lake net. Lack battling with Ritten and Markwell. He's got help from Caverly. Lack drops his stick. And it looks like we're going to get a holding call. So Rochester will go on the power play with 30 seconds to go in the second period. And we'll see if the Mustangs can capitalize on the man advantage. Prior Lake wins the draw. Lakers clear, goes off the wall. It's going to go all the way down. It's icing on the Lakers. 19 seconds to go now in the penalty. Excuse me, in the period. It's Prior Lake's Zach Ritten who will be serving the penalty. The faceoff's going to come into the Prior Lake end to the left of Blake Pickens. Puck's down. Steele pushes it ahead. Didion tomahawks the puck back to Perrin. Perrin looking to spring Kopus. Kopus now racing with Wiedrich to get to the puck. Wiedrich got there, but Kopus manages to knock the puck away from him. The final seconds of the second period will tick off without a shot. So when the third period begins, Rochester will have 1 minute of power play time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Brew Pub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brew Pub Lotta Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a ½ pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brew Pub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
I think anytime you're beginning a season or beginning a new sport where maybe you haven't been as well conditioned as later in the season or near the end of the year, that's when you're going to be most prone to overuse types of injuries. That's going to be sprains and strains and tendonitis and stress fractures. And so I think it's most important to kind of slowly ramp up into an activity and build your volume in a stepwise way instead of jumping in all at once.
Brew Pub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brew Pub Lotta Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a ½ pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brew Pub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
I think anytime you're beginning a season or beginning a new sport where maybe you haven't been as well conditioned as later in the season or near the end of the year, that's when you're going to be most prone to overuse types of injuries. That's going to be sprains.
Well, now that we've heard from our friends at Summit Orthopedics, we're back for the third period of today's game. Prior Lake and Rochester entering the final period. Prior Lake leading 2-1, but currently killing the penalty. As Kopus manages to get the puck to Perrin, Perrin will one-hand it deeper into the Rochester zone and immediately get back on defense. Shots on goal, 22-17 so far. The goals in the second period, Rochester's Ace Lack put the Mustangs on the board before Perrin lined up and converted a slap shot about 4 minutes later, and that is where we stand. 28 seconds to go in the Prior Lake penalty, which means 28 seconds to go in the Rochester power play. Puck is down, comes to Perrin to the blue line. Perrin simply wraps the puck all the way around. And pressure from Joey Volt, making it difficult for Rochester to get out of its own zone on the power play. Lack will carry it himself. Lack into the corner, dragging a Laker defender with him. Gets the puck to Lusk. Lusk lost the handle, and now here's a chance for Prior Lake. Skating ahead is Nordby. Nordby with Volt joining the play. Nordby shooting blocker save. by Earl Graff, who's officially at 21 saves. There's another shot that goes the other side. Prior Lake will go on the power play as Rochester's Warren Hangy is called for a penalty. So a premium chance here for Prior Lake to extend that 2-1 lead. Perrin gets it to Volp. Volp shooting, blocker saved by Graff. Laurel sends it down to Nordby. Nordby tries a shot from the corner. It's knocked away by Graff. Ulrich puts on the brakes, whips it out to Laurel. Laurel tries a long shot, bobbling puck. Stopped and held on to by Graff. You have the face-off all the way down in the Prior Lake end, 59 seconds to go in the Rochester penalty, and it'll be even tougher now for the Lakers to not only get out of their own zone, but get down into the Rochester end. There's Bradley. Bradley tossed it up to the Rochester defense. Defender dumps it right back down. Perrin will carry it ahead for Prior Lake. Stops at the hash mark. Tried to play it into the middle. Eventually does, but he gives it right to Nolan Steele. Steele lofts it ahead for Bradley. Bradley plucks it out of midair. He's at the top of the circle, and he didn't get. Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez. I'm not on the ice, but it looked like he could have knocked over Tristan Bradley with a feather on that one. So Bradley draws the penalty. Prior Lakes. Jackson Perrin will go to the box. 11:38 to go in the third period. 23 seconds to go in the Rochester penalty. So Mustangs could end up with 1:07 of power play time. Ritten gathers up the puck after the faceoff. Sends it ahead. Here's Kopus. Kopus, 11:25 to go. Shooting stop by Graff. And for at least 8 more seconds, we will be 4-on-4. Ace Lack out on the ice for Rochester, and 4-on-4 with all that space out there. You get the feeling this could be where Ace Lack could shine. You send him on kind of a home run pass. He's got the speed to outrace pretty much anybody. Instead, it's Ritten. Ritten can't get the shot away. The penalty is over for Rochester. He lofted ahead. Kopus dropping to his knees. He keeps it in, and he dives after it and pushes the puck even deeper. Aiden Kopus. He is 100% the MVP so far of this power play. 50 seconds to go in said power play. The puck gets all the way to Wiesner. Wiesner looks up and realizes he is all alone out there. 10:49 to go in the third period. Another whistle. What are we whistling here? Can't really tell. But we're going to have a face-off in a Prior Lake zone. Lack will take the draw. He's got Arndt, Wiesner, Hagen, and Broadbent. Face-off goes to Arndt. Arndt shoots. Stopped by Pickens. Wiesner and Lack going after it. Lack can't get a shot off. He was met by a stick of a Prior Lake defender, who stopped him from shooting the puck. Wiesner turns, dumps it in the zone. Oh, that's going to be a penalty. Yeah, okay, I was going to say, if you don't get that one, that's rough. That's going to be a 130 slashing call as Broadbent knocks the stick out of Markwell's hands. So we'll go back to 4-on-4 hockey for 14 seconds, and then after those 14 seconds, Prior Lake will have 1:26 of power play time. We're getting a little penalty happy right now. As I said before, the Little Pumpkin Championship will be coming up after this one. That one should be a dandy. And the black bracket Big Pumpkin final. The undefeated teams Stillwater and Minnetonka will do battle. Scheduled to start at 2:30. I highly doubt it'll start at actual 2:30. Probably a few minutes later. And 10 minutes to go in the third period. Prior Lake officially on the power play with another chance to extend this lead, the all-important 2-goal lead. Here come the Lakers. There's a shot from the dot, too high, too wide. Didion holds the zone, runs into Steele and goes down. Flipped out of the air by Steele. It's going to get all the way down for an icing. Face-off be to the left of Earl Graff. Nordby will be taking the draw. Prior Lake late to get a defender onto the ice. Perrin down to Volpe. Volpe back to Perrin. Perrin back to Volpe. Joey Volpe looking around. He's got Nordby. He wants the give and go. He ends up shooting it, and the puck ends up on the stick of Ace Lack. Lack with his trademark move taps it around a defender, gaining speed into the Prior Lake zone. Poked away by Perrin. Oh my gosh. I want to watch Jackson Perrin and Ace Lack play chess. That's what it's felt like today. Perrin and Lack playing little chess games with each other on the ice. Perrin drops it down to the corner. The final seconds of the Prior Lake power play tick off. We are officially back at full strength hockey. Prior Lake losing the puck in the skates. Gets to Perrin. Perrin walks it in. He shoots, tipped in front. It's still loose, and eventually Earl Graff gets a hand on it. 8:41 to go in the third period. Earl the Squirrel covering it up, stopping the play. Shots on goal right now, 26-18, meaning Graff has 24 saves. Blake Pickens, no slouch either for Prior Lake. He's got 17 saves on 18 shots. Lack wins the draw. I have a strong feeling for the remainder of the period we're going to see a lot of Ace Lack and Nolan Steele. Lack catches the puck in transition. He's racing Ritten. And an excellent back check by Tate Ulrich disrupts Lack's progress. Nice play by Ulrich to get back on defense. Now Lusk. Lusk goes down. One hands it over to Wiedrich. Wiedrich to Lack. Lack at the top of the circle. Steps around a man. Lack cutting in. He Bobby Orr. The puck is in. It's in. It's in. It's in. Caleb Wiedrich dropping down from his defensive position, bats in the loose puck, and we are tied at 2-2. Justin, did you see that? I had no idea the play was continuing. All I saw was Ace Lack go flying, and then all of a sudden Caleb Wiedrich knocking the puck into the net. I believe the goal will read Wiedrich from Lack. As the scoreboard now reads 2-2. Wiedrich from Lack is indeed the official call. Didion tries a shot. That's blocked, and now skating ahead is Peterson. Peterson hands it off. Now it goes back to Peterson. Peterson can't get past the Prior Lake defense. We'll see what the Lakers can do in transition. He gets to Lesnar. Lesnar racing Broadbent. Lesnar on his backhand. Now to his forehand. He scores! Thomas Lesnar! And he floats into the corner on a cloud. To a happy bunch of Prior Lake parents. Thomas Lesnar, what a play. Lesnar unassisted. 26 seconds after Rochester had tied the game. Prior Lake once again has a 1-goal advantage with 7:10 to play in regulation. Lesnar again, and a big toe save by Graff. Puck sent ahead too far. That'll be icing on the Mustangs. Faceoff will be to the left of Graff. Looks like Lack will take the draw for Rochester. His adversary in the circle, Wyatt Markwell. Lack trying the breakout, giving it to Caverly. Laurel steps down and holds his own. Into the middle, puck ends up with Lack. Lack will skate it ahead on his own. Lack going up against Ritten. Ritten pokes it away. Lack to Broadbent. Broadbent loses his balance. A chance for Prior Lake, and a nice play there by Rochester's Warren Hangy to get back and poke the puck away, forcing a fortuitous offsides for the Mustangs. 6:30 to play in regulation. Some of the Stillwater Minnetonka fans have begun trickling into Rink 4. At least I think I see it. No, never mind, it's a Laker hat. No, Stillwater Minnetonka aren't here yet. I'm sure they're going over offensive and defensive zone situations and strategy and all that good stuff. Maybe they're meditating, getting into the zone. A very awkward breakout by Rochester leads to a premium scoring chance for Prior Lake. And unfortunately, Dalton Schwartz unable to put the biscuit in the basket. Everson shoots it. That goes wide. It bounces off the boards. Live boards back there, and very nearly put in by Prior Lake. Here come the Mustangs. Hagen has it poked away. A bouncing puck. Here's another chance for the Mustangs. Hagen from the dot, shooting, it goes wide. Wiedrich fires it back into the zone. Now Bradley. Bradley has it poked away by Markwell. Now Bradley goes down. There's a chance for Steele. Steele on the backhand. Blocker saved by Pickens. Prior Lake manages to clear the zone. Wholesale line change for the Lakers. Rochester coaches furiously motioning to their players to get up ice, get up ice. You can't do it fast enough. Nordby catches the puck. Tried to get it over to Ulrich. Ulrich loses the handle. It ends up with Nordby again. Now up to Didion. Didion walks it down. Didion shoots. Loose puck in front on the backhand. It's still loose. Nobody able to cover yet. Didion again. Didion winding, firing. That was going wide. Goes off the helmet of Tristan Bradley. Centering try in front, and a big save by Earl Graff. Earl Graff having himself a day between the pipes for Rochester. Bradley gets over. He's knocked down, and that's... oh, geez. 2-minute hooking call. 4:21 to go in regulation. Rochester's going to go on the power play. Will we see a timeout called here? Doesn't look like it. Lusk, Lack, Caverly, Wiedrich, Hagen, the power play unit for Rochester. Lack nearly won the faceoff to himself, but it ends up on the stick of Owen Lusk. Wiedrich, he's got a goal today. He shoots. Nice low shot. Rebound in front. They score. Lack gathers up the rebound and scores. Oh, my. 8 seconds into the power play. Ace Lack has his second goal of the game, set up by Wiedrich's shot. We're all tied up again with 4:13 to go in regulation. But if history has taught us anything, it's that Prior Lake is going to score in about 30 seconds. score was so fast, Robin Cook didn't have time to announce the penalty. Now Lack skating ahead. A Prior Lake defender goes down of his own accord. Lack has the puck poked away, and he will hop off the ice. I believe we're going to see, as I said before, a lot of ace Lack. Over the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds, here's Kopus. Kopus skating it in. He's over the blue line, bumped away from the puck. It's wrapped around. Arndt going after it. He sees Jack Laurel coming down from the blue line. And if I saw Jack Laurel skating towards me, I would probably panic with the puck. But Rochester didn't. So now the Mustangs will clear. Arndt skating it ahead. He's over the blue line, tries a slap shot, and the Mustangs are offsides. Puck bobbled ahead. Here's a chance for Prior Lake. Ulrich couldn't settle the puck down. It hopped over his stick. He tried a backhand centering pass. Nobody was home with him. Here's Bradley. Bradley skating ahead. He's over the red, over the blue. Now here's a chance for Steele, who picks up the loose puck. Steele goes through his legs. It gets to Bradley. He shoots. It goes off the post. Wiesner going after it. Wiesner goes down, takes a Laker down with him. The Lakers cannot clear. 2:25 to go in regulation. Nordby to Volp. Volp can't get away from Lack. Here comes Ace Lack. Lack with a nice move. Bumped into by Nordby. Now Wiedrich. Wiedrich snaps the puck over to Bradley. Bradley desperately trying to get off for a line change. Pass cross ice to Ulrich. Ulrich dumps it in on net. Tapped away by Graff. 1:55 to go in regulation. And we'll continue updating the clock because we are officially in crunch time. Lusk tries a backhand pass. It goes into the skates. A Prior Lake defender. Now it comes out in front. Nobody from Rochester home. Schwarz on the backhand. Ends up on the stick of Markwell. Markwell skates it ahead. He's across the blue line. Markwell can't get past two Rochester defenders. Graff will cover up and hang on. 1:31 to go in regulation. Shots on goal 32-23 right now in favor of Prior Lake. Puck is down. Laurel sends it down low. It comes to Kopus. Whoa! The defensive play by Kohler Peterson may have just saved Rochester a goal, getting a stick on it before Kopus could get a shot off. It's cleared. The puck's not going to get there. Icing waved off as written. Gathers it up, wraps it around the boards, looking for Kopus, who's hanging out just outside the Prior Lake blue line. Final minute of play here in regulation. We're tied 3-3. Rochester. Bodine up to the blue line, and Prior Lake incredibly offsides. Kopus can't believe it. He says, it wasn't me. Well, there's two other players, Aiden. Prior Lake calls timeout, but we won't take a timeout. No, sir. 46 seconds. 46 seconds to glory here in the orange bracket of the Pumpkin. Executive producer and vice president of content, Justin Moss, rifling through his backpack. Queen reverberating on the arena speakers. Prior Lake and Rochester both milking as long of this timeout as they possibly can. When the song says everybody clap your hands, you start clapping your hands. Here we go, 46 seconds in regulation. Steele tied up with Bodine after the faceoff. The puck ends up with Thomas Lesnar. Lesnar had a gorgeous goal earlier this period. Let's see if Lightning can strike twice. Let's see if Lesnar can strike twice. What comes to Wiesner? Wiesner's got Bradley on the far side. Tristan Bradley really wants that puck. I hope he realizes there are two players standing in front of him in prime position to steal it. Lesnar to Bodine. Bodine can't get around a Rochester defender. It ends up with Bradley. Bradley to Wiesner. Wiesner going one-on-one with Perrin. Pickens comes out and plays it up to Lesnar. Lesnar tries to clear. He sends it directly into the lower back of the official. Nobody's going to get a shot off. But we will go to overtime. We're going to find out what the overtime rules are momentarily, Justin. I know they've changed. From all right, so it's going to be a 4-on-4, 4-minute running time overtime. Now, I want to see which coach is savvy here, because there's a way to kind of game the system during running time overtime. Late line changes, you pretend to call a timeout, and then they tell you you don't have any timeouts, and you go, oh, gee, I didn't know I didn't have any timeouts, and before you know it, 30 seconds is run off the clock. I've seen it happen, Justin. I've seen it happen several times. Teams will switch sides. Earl Graff wobbling his way toward his net. Graff has had an outstanding game today. 29 saves on 32 shots for the Mustangs. Now, Rochester still has its timeout. That's the other point about being savvy in running time overtime. If you really want to stop the clock, you got to get loud. You got to start screaming, timeout, or don't send your team out. So we'll see. Rochester coaches discussing right now. I'm sure one of them is saying, hey, we have a timeout here. Who are the four? And we're going to put out Lack, Wiesner, Wiedrich, Hagen for Rochester, Ulrich, Perrin, Laurel, and Volp, the 4 for Prior Lake. We are underway, 4-minute, 4-on-4, running time, overtime. Here's Wiesner. Wiesner steps around Laurel going towards the net. He goes down. That's definitely not a penalty. Laurel plays it up to Volp. Volp tosses it all the way across to Perrin. Perrin's got a step on Wiedrich. He bobbled the puck and lost that step. Perrin tries to get it to Laurel, can't do it. Now Perrin again, spinning away from Lack. Lack and Perrin have gone at it all game long. Perrin, his pass intercepted by Wiesner. Wiesner can't find it. It's in his skates. Eventually, Wiesner recovers. He bangs it off the boards, trying to go to Lack. Lack, the puck along the half wall. Lack's got 2 of Rochester's 3 goals. Wiedrich's got the other. Wiedrich shoots. It goes off a skate out of the reach of Lack. Lakers carrying it out. Volp tosses it up to Ulrich. Ulrich and Wiedrich racing for the puck. Ulrich kicks it ahead. Prior Lake goes for a line change. Just over 3 minutes to play in this running time overtime. Nolan Steele will carry it ahead. Steele across the red. He's got Bradley. He goes. Beautiful move on the back, and he scores! Nolan Steele steals the game. Rochester is your orange bracket champion. And they are going bananas in Med City. The party is on. Nolan Steele wins the game for Rochester. A fabulous, fabulous overtime game-winning goal by Nolan Steele. A fabulous game played by these two teams. I was on the edge of my seat, except I didn't sit down the whole time. A wonderful, wonderful game to set the stage for the Little Pumpkin Championship, which is coming up right after we take the champions photo. We're going to clear the ice, and then we'll be back at it with the Little Pumpkin champion. Nolan Steele is our player of the game with the overtime game-winning goal, and that'll do it for this broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, come back for the Little Pumpkin Championship right after this.
Brew Pub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brew Pub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
I think anytime you're beginning a season or beginning a new sport where maybe you haven't been as well conditioned as later in the season or near the end of the year, that's when you're going to be most prone to overuse types of injuries. That's going to be sprains and strains and tendonitis and stress fractures. And so I think it's most important to kind of slowly ramp up into an activity and build your volume in a stepwise way instead of jumping in all at once.
Brew Pub Pizza.